Good afternoon, everyone. Anna Wheaton from Nudge Nudge Ink Ink. I'm experimenting with different times of the day for my Facebook Lives, just seeing who joins in. So I hope you are enjoying your Saturday. We've been looking at the various flower dies this week, where I've shown you the daffodil dies put together for a card such as that. And then also the tulip dies. And earlier in the week, we made this card. So the other thing we did, the other card we did in our class also used the pansy dies. So these are one of the sets of dies. There's the completed set that has a mixture of the cutout pieces that are just flat, but also some embossed pieces. So you can see there's a lot of texture in that pansy. So in the class that I ran, we made this card, which was a case from another demonstrator whose name I do not know. It wasn't watermarked, and then I didn't take a record of it. So my apologies. But when I saw it, it was absolutely beautiful, and I thought we should definitely copy it. What I'm going to try and do is assemble it in a different way, which is often a good idea when you do a case, because then you can make it your own. So I've got the Hive embossing folder in behind, and I'm going to show you an assembly trick or tip. So what I'm going to do is lay these down where I want them, and I can just move them around as I go. So I've already assembled the flowers. These are the tulips. Now, in our tulip card that I made earlier in the week, we used Real Red, Poppy Parade, and Petal Pink. But what we did here was we used the New Horizons DSP. So it was my product of the week, or focus of the week, I think last week. It's got all these beautiful scenery images that you can stamp on and add to. But I cut the dies out of that, which gives them some beautiful colouring and reflects that watercolouring effect. And you can see here, I've also used them on the leaves. So I'm probably going to move these up a little bit. I'm wondering if I've made a wise decision here, going landscape instead of portrait, but we'll see. So there's two stalks. One's a fat one and one's a slim one, a skinny one. Now, if you didn't see my other videos, it's very handy to use the adhesive sheets when you cut these out. So these pansy pieces, these little layers around the edges are actually cut out with adhesive sheets on them. So when it came to put them together, it was very easy to just peel those pieces off. And I wasn't mucking around with liquid glue. I can hear a car coming. I think it's my son coming home. Hey, Paula. Hello. Paula Flowers. No windmills. Yep, hear that revving? That's my son. Okay. So I'm just playing around with laying these out. And switching them up whichever way I want. And even with assembling the flowers, you might notice, for example, that those parts of the daffodils are done with dimensionals, just to give them a bit of pop. Okay, getting there. You'll see how, I hope, you'll see how this all comes together in just a moment. And then I've got another little bud. Okay, hey Linda. Linda, I'm just assembling the poppies and not poppies. See, I read your name and that immediately took me to poppies. Tulips, daffodils, and the pansies. But I'm experimenting with going landscape instead of portrait. Okay, so I've got them in place. So you could lift all those up and put glue on the back and play around with them. With the chance of getting a bit mucky. But what I'm going to do is use some Glad Press and Seal. So this is not available in our supermarkets. It's widely available in America. We can get it at Costco and we can get it online. Amazon has it. I think Costco sells it in rolls of 3 rolls. So if you had someone who was also interested in some, it's sort of like Glad Wrap, but not stretchy, and it's not sticky on one side, and then it is sticky on the other. So what you can do is put it sticky side down, and then I don't actually want it to stick to the hive background, but I do want to stick it to the flowers. So I'm just pressing down on those. Yeah, I might just move him in. But you can see it's sort of sticking to those a bit. Like so. I love the colours of those tulips. Okay, so once that's done, see how I go. I'm going to peel all that away. And there I have all my flower pieces in the right place as to how I arrange them. Now, it won't work for everything. You'll probably have to glue some things on the front when you flip it over. But what I can do is use my Tombow, and I've chosen one that's not squirting very well. I can use my Tombow and add that. Yeah, you can see that it's sticky. Add that to the back here. So what I'm achieving is I'm getting glue on all my pieces, but I'm not getting glue everywhere. And don't do it in a high wind. We've just got a little bit of breeze coming through the door. Now I'm going to leave my little pansy stalk, this one here. I've actually got sticky backing on that. So once I've turned it over, I will just pull that out. I think I should be able to do that. And then I'll probably need to add a little bit of glue in around here on the front as well. But see, I can get some in underneath that stalk and on the back of the pansy. And there you have it. Then I'm going to put that back, because that's where I'm wanting to return my flowers to. Turn them over. And press them down. Now I know I've got some things going over the edge, and in some ways, see those top ones I'm not going to worry about because they'll still be within the edge of the card. And then it's a liquid glue, so I've just got to leave it to set for a little while. I'll just show you the other one in the meantime. So remember, we did this one portrait, and I don't know if you can see there that there's a little bit of wink of Stella on that part of the daffodil. I don't know if that's sparkling or not. This is on soft sea foam cardstock. For this one, I've got our Magenta Madness, which is one of the retiring colours. which I've really only just sort of fallen in love with. And I'm sad that it's going. Okay, now while it's still a bit movable, I'm just going to pull my leaves out a little bit because it's a shame to have those leaves in such detail and have them largely hidden. There we go. So I just pull this off gently and my arrangement stays in place without mucky gluing. Now remember, this one I said had the double-sided adhesive sheets, which are fantastic with fine gluing. Now that piece of press and seal, I can use that again. It'll work a number of times before you have to replace it. Okay, put that in place. Super. Few little touch-ups, just that little stalk there. I'll give it a little bit of glue and tuck it behind this flower. There we go. Oop, trying to put my Tombow lid onto my pokey tool. Okay, so see, those are all sticking in place without too much fuss. I need to do some trimming. Now, if you don't know this tip for trimming, first of all, I'll show you this on the card. So you can see I'm not going to trim the tips of my flowers there. I'm happy to leave those where they are, but I do want to trim away the stalks here. So the best thing to do is to flip this over, because then you can line it up. Hey, Donna. And see nice and the straight edge that you're cutting against. Leaving that pansy, so I'm just going to come in between it and the card layer, like so, to pull those out of the way. Now, a few extra touches. We've got our, when you cut out the pansy, there's actually also a yellow middle for it, which is so little that I didn't add the adhesive sheet to it. So a tiny little bit of our Tombow, and then you can pick that up with the other end of your take your pick tool to put it in place, like so. And then we've got, these are our beautiful bumblebee trinkets, and they are retiring. They won't be in the next catalogue, which is very sad. They're a very cute addition to a card. Very easy to attach. So you just get one of our glue dots and you press it onto the glue dot, and then you pull it off, and then you can stick it wherever you want on your card. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue there. Now, this is my favourite ribbon, Pool Party ribbon, but we used it all up at our working bee the other day, so I'm going to wait until that arrives and add, that's just tied in a bow and added with a mini glue dot also, so pretty easy to do. Flipping this over, some people might just go straight for their Tombow to attach this. If you're using a glue runner like this, just make sure you don't press too hard, because you'll actually flatten your design of your embossing folder. And I can put that in place, like so. So there you have, where's the other one? Oh, I know, another thing to add. Little bit of detail. We've got these iridescent rhinestones. These are carrying over into the new annual catalogue. I just love them. I wish, this is the sheet, so you can see they're in 3 different sizes, and I just keep using up the little ones, and then I have the big ones left. So I wish we had a whole big sheet of the little ones. So I'm just going to add those here and there on my picture. So now I'm using up all the medium ones, still not the big ones. You could even put one in the middle there. Okay, so there you go. There's the one we did the other day, and I'll just show you two with your embossing folders. See this one? You can see the hive shapes or hexagons are going inwards. This one, they're popping outwards. Let me put them side by side. So neither is wrong. It's just a choice when you put an embossing folder on your card. You can decide which way up to put it. Okay, so there you go. Two beautiful cards using some of the flower, just the dies, not even any stamps, which are really fun to put together. And I hope that's given you some inspiration on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you. If you're wanting to order anything, you can go to my store, which is listed on annawheaton.com, and have a look there, or you can message me. Thank you. Bye.